Hello guys, kumusta na? Welcome back sa akon nga YouTube channel. Thank you again sa mga nag-subscribe, thank you sa mga nag-like, kay sa mga nag-comment sa akon mga past videos. Ari ta subong sa they call this Hawthorne Park. I think I said it right. Hawthorne Park. Hawthorne Park across ni siya sang very important place ang akon nga kabuhi diri sa Canada. So behind me is where I started my journey in Canada. Sila ang nagdala di sa amon or nag-hire sa amon coming from Philippines. The company's name is Genilo. They said ang translation ng Genilo is Lucky Dragon. The owner is our family of Vietnamese. They have a very successful story. Pamilya sila, no? So nag-start man sila sa gamay asa nagdako ang ilang negosyo. It's actually a typical grocery store, but it caters more on Asian products, and they have a lot of imported products coming from Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Mexico, California. So many products. That's why medyo famous sila diri sa amon area. Mga Filipino coming from the US, they come here because may mga lansunis, di sila rambutan, sometimes guyabano, and it's very rare na may ara yung grocery store nga magbiligya sina. So they were famous sa mga products, especially ang lansones kang rambutan ginakatuan din sila sa mga, especially sa mga Filipino nga halin sa US, but unfortunately they cannot bring it back because hindi pwede na sa border i-cross ang mga product. So guys, if makita nyo sa likod ko, may duwa ka building. Ang isang may blue, ang isa is a little bit orange or red orange. So that's where I worked before. That's the grocery store nga nang ginambal ko sa inyo nga nag-hire sa amon directly from Philippines to work here in Canada. Like I said, kargador ko dira because it's a grocery store. May mga utan, fruits, canned foods, like typical nga grocery store like sa aton. When we got here, amon ubra, so designated kami sa mga iba-iba nga area. Like for me, I was assigned sa mga frozen goods, mga biskan sa utan kisa we display, bungkas, and may mga loading and unloading man kami nga mga ginaobra. So very physical, pero it's an opportunity, diba? So guys, muna, that's Henlong. That's where I work. That's where I started my life here in Canada. And Henlong actually taught me a lot, and I'm still thankful sa experience ko sa Henlong because dako ang gin-change ko as a person. Dako man ang gin-change ko sa pag-view ko sa life, and grabe ang gin-teach sa imo bla kung paano mo i-overcome ang mga challenges, paano mo i-overcome ang struggles mo. When I was working in Henlong, dako ang grabe ang challenge, grabe ang especially ang physical challenge, and then dugangan pa nga you're away from your family. When I was working with them, sometimes hindi ka nakabangon sa aga bla, but you have to because you have a work. You have to work to finish your job. You're in contract. They know that you have to go to work. Medyo wala ka freedom nga gamay. It doesn't mean that they really have to force you. If you're not feeling well and if you cannot go to work, you're allowed to say, "Oh, I cannot go to work. I'm not feeling well." Diba? But then what they expect from you is that you have to work every day or on your schedule. Actually, ang experience ko sa Henlong was really a good one. Kay dako ang gin-open sa mind ko bla. Dako ang gin-change with comes to how to deal with life. Because sometimes you talk to them, diba? Mga experience nila on how they started, how they overcome struggles, how they overcome life, how they overcome challenges. So may mga na-learn ka sa ila, and you kind of like look at that na parang, oh wow, nakaya nila, no? So kaya ko man siguro, right? So those are the stuff that you're gonna bring with you. So when I started working, yung pagkita ko man sa ila nga, they didn't make a mistake choosing me to na ginhire nila from Philippines, right? So this new building now, that's what they're using. Ara na datan subong ang ilang product, that's their new store. So but before sa blue building, that's where I started. That's where I worked. That's where I experienced everything here in Canada. Dragid ako nagsugod sa akon nga life diri sa Canada. So guys, ang mga changes nga nagabot sa life ko diri sa Canada was not easy. bis ka naari ka din sa Canada, you're also working hard, hard. Especially sa amon kasi sa time na to nga we're under work permit, we're not allowed to work somewhere else. We have limitations, so you don't want to breach your contract, you don't want to break any rules, because anytime, any day, they can just cancel you and send you home. So when I get the chance to work in Canada, thankful yun ako kay dako gid nga bagay ang nag-change sa life ko. You can imagine, I was here for 2 years. I finished my contract in Henlong, and then I went to another job, and then I decided to medyo gusto ko na magbaka sa lakyan. Not a brand new car, okay? So nagsupot-supot ko gamay. I took my driving test. That's what's important, driving test or your driver's license, and I was able to buy a car, a cheap one. Like, it was a 2003 Honda Civic nga hatchback, and that car, hindi na tanaw-tanaw ko lang nasa TV before. I remember si Wendell Ramos yata nasa one of the movies nga may yellow siya nga Honda Civic nga hatchback, and I was like, wow, I like that car, gusto ko, but I cannot afford. So munang nag-change diri when I finished my contract with Ilong, nakasipot-supot ko kamay. I bought a used car 2003, but it was good. Ginamit ko lang, gamit ko I think it was about 6 years ang gamit ko sa car nga to. And imagine if I was in the Philippines, I don't know if I can afford, right? Kasi commute man natin sa Philippines, and wala gid tayo muna kasarang. So that's something ba lang, ay wow, finally naka-afford ko magbakal sa lakyan ng akon, binaklan, right? So when we talk about changes, even gamay lang a change sa life mo, medyo surprising. Like for me, I didn't grow up luxurious. I didn't grow up with so many fancy things. When I came to Canada, dako ang ginhelp financially, of course. Makabulig ka sa pamilya mo back home. You can share what you can share. Sometimes medyo short ka lang. Sometimes you just have to understand kung wala ka medyo extra, hindi ka man makashare, because you have to prioritize yourself here. Kasi ikaw lang isa, o wala ka di isang pamilya, paano kung magmasakit ka, if you need to be helped naman, sino man mabulig si mo. So sometimes even mabulig, gusto mo magbulig sa back home, sometimes you have to save a little bit for yourself, for emergency man bala. So you have to set aside something, hindi ka man maubusan. One thing I want to share with you guys is that you have to be prepared with those challenges. You cannot just say, manager ko sa Philippines, pag-abot ko di, malimpyo lang ko sa eskwelahan, manglimpyo lang ko sa mga bathroom, manglimpyo ko. I remember one person said this to me, and until now hindi ko malipatan. Even the person that said it to me, hindi ko malipatan, because those words are sometimes carry mo gid bala sa journey mo. She said to me, like, "To, you're so lucky you were able to get here in Canada. And you know what? Tanan ng mga gusto mo, makuha mo gid." And it was true. After a few years of working here in Canada, I'm not saying I'm wealthy, but ang mga bagay-bagay sang una nga damgo-damgo mo lang, tulok-tulok mo lang, wish mo lang is coming. Makaya mo na i-afford magbakal laptop, magbakal sapatos, magbakal any kind of clothes, and mga bagay nga masuportahan mo na pamilya mo kahit papano, makapadala ka na enough money sa pamilya mo back home, and you can still live here in Canada and eat what you want to eat, buy what you want to buy. And that really happened, but slowly. It doesn't mean nga pag-abot mo di buhay milyonaryo kung nakadayon. No, you have to go through a process. You have to go through a lot of levels. You have to go through a lot of challenges, and I'm telling you, it's not easy. That's why you have to prepare yourself. You You really have to prepare yourself. You cannot just come here and be somebody. So one more thing I share ko sa inyo when it comes to changes, life mo dito sa Canada, especially kung naka-work visa ka. Doesn't mean your work visa hindi ka na pwede nga entitled sa mga ibang bagay. Actually, when I was in a work visa, nag-apply pa ko US visa and I was approved. So, ina ang mga changes or mga opportunities diri sa Canada despite of your status. Nag-apply ko sa US visa because I was about 2012. It was 2012 I applied US visa and I was still on a work permit. Advantage, right? You're here in Canada working and you have the opportunity or the chance to apply for a US visa from here. So imagine if I was in the Philippines, ang tanan nga requirements kung napangayo sa US akon, I cannot provide. Right? I'm for sure I won't be able to apply at all. So I tried. I asked other people may mga US visa na, and I researched, right? And I tried applying, and they grant me the tourist visa for was a 10 years tourist visa. So I was shocked ko nga ay pwede kali ko, right? So I was thinking like I can enjoy both worlds. I can go to US and come back in Canada because as far as I know, if you still have employment here in Canada as a work permit, if you travel to US only, you're allowed to come back even ang imo visa was expired because you have a work permit. So it means you can go back to Canada to work because pamangkoton ka sa border, pamangkoton ka sa border officer if you still have a valid work permit regardless of your visa expired. And they're gonna ask you, they're gonna look it up if you travel outside US and you're not allowed to travel outside US, especially if you have an expired visa. Only you can travel to US and come back to Canada with your work permit. Okay? So if it's different now, it's not my fault because amo na yung experience ko. Okay? You'll never know until you really decide to do something different. So it doesn't mean because you're working visa here, limited ka na gid sa katama. No, there are things that you can do. There are things that you're allowed to do. Right? So just bear it in mind na siyempre may mga rules and you have to keep that in mind. So guys, I hope may nakuha ka mo bisang gamay lang how I started here in Canada and how was the journey. Like I said, if there's an opportunity to come here in any way, PR, student, working, caregiver, it's an opportunity that you don't want to miss. Here is one thing that you need to remember though. Not everyone can apply. There's what you call the word eligibility, and that's one of the word that you're gonna hear from me a lot of times sa mga videos ko nga i-upload pa, yung mga topics nga istorya ko sa inyo. So guys, eligibility is a keyword here in Canada. So when you apply for anything, like even work, even a student or caregiver or permanent residency, eligibility is the key. So they're gonna look at your application, you as a person, as an applicant, they're gonna go through the whole system of processing it. So there you go guys, my short storytelling or storya about my first experience here in Canada when I started. So I hope that will inspire you or somehow makabulig sa inyo decide if one day you want to come or apply for Canada. My objective here is just really to share stuff to you. Say may mga question ka in mind or maybe you're thinking of should we. So I hope this little information that I share is very helpful. So guys, I hope may nakuha ka mo information sa aton nga topic subong sa vlog. So until next time, may storya ta.